Okay, we're in Coloma, California. Found out that this is a state park and has a lot of history to this town. So we're here to look around, explore, and see what we can learn about Coloma, California. All right, so we just took a picture of what was the site of the largest brick store here in Coloma. Now we're headed down Brewery Street, and we're headed back here to check to see what these buildings, or that building and something else that we've seen in the distance. We're gonna go check that out. There's also something right here across the street from the sign and where the brick store used to be. Coloma Breweries. In the 1850s and 1860s, Coloma had two breweries, the El Dorado and the Coloma. They were located between Brewery Street and the river, which the river is back over that way. And an 1853 advertisement in Coloma's newspaper stated Mr. Joseph Wellman would respectfully inform traders, hotel keepers, and the public generally that he is ready to supply them with a superior article of ale and cider by the barrel or otherwise from his own manufactory. Draft ale constantly on hand and for sale by the glass or gallon. Huh, interesting. Brewery Street. Now we're at Back Street. So we're on Back Street, boys. Appears that the iron box that we've seen off in the distance turns out to be a holding cell. What was once in the jail, which is right over there. So
this one actually came from the courthouse in Placerville.
This one here did?
Uh-huh.
So this actually came from the courthouse in Placerville, and this is what's left of the old jail from here in Coloma, right?
This was the third jail.
The third jail.
It says the first jail was made of logs and was located around the corner on High Street. The second jail was built in 1855 and quickly proved to be too small, and so this stone block prison was erected. It was used from 1857 until 1862, not very long.
No, not really.
The metal cell that stands nearby came from the county courthouse in Placerville.
Wow.
Wow.
It's dark. I probably can't see it on the camera, but there's a little wooden table in there. And that is it.
What do you think?
Probably. Look at this.
Oh, cool.
A shackle ring. Shackle ring to shackle someone their irons or leg irons to the floor, I guess, if they needed to. Because you know what? Human beings are not always the most kind individuals or creatures. And unfortunately, sometimes I guess they would have to be restrained like that. Wow. General blacksmithing and horseshoeing over there. You've got post office. Used to be a hotel over there. Natalie was reading the plaque earlier, and the only thing of the hotel that's left is the well, and you can see the well right over there. That's where the blacksmith shop was at. And old house or something. I'm not sure what this was.
In the windows, it still has all the stuff.
Oh wow. See a wash basin stand. Wow. Pretty cool. This was the Monroe house, it looks like. That's what this was. Post office. Has our mail packages been delivered yet? I think this is still an actual operating post office.
Still there,
wow.
post office.
Cool. Site of Adams and Company Express, the established Eastern Company, Adams Express, struck it rich in California. They provided the banking and mail services the miners so desperately needed. The Coloma branch office opened in 1853. Gold, mail, and packages were taken from here to San Francisco by stagecoach to be loaded onto steamers. On February 23, 1855, speculation and intense competition brought about the financial panic of Black Friday, which caused the collapse of the West Coast branch. Wow, that's pretty interesting. And I don't know that my camera got this earlier or not. This is the Argonaut Farm to Fort Cafe. Neat little place here. And it appears they have seating out back or outside. That's pretty cool. A big giant tree. That one too. That was cool. Now look, across the river over there, there's some cabins, but look at this. Look at the bridge. Oh, wow, check it out.
I'm not sure if it's grapes or muscadine, but the deer definitely like them, you can see.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a deer!
There's a deer right there, as a matter of fact.
It scared me to death.
Just a little doe. Just a little old doe right there. Coming down to check out the...
Those steps were fresher than I thought, I guess, huh?
Wild grapes, are they? He said.
I'm not quite sure if it's a
Or is it a muscadine?
Or a muscadine.
May.
It's a grape.
Yeah.
It's a grape.
And those are good, actually.
They are.
Wild grapes, y'all. I'm telling you. God's provision.
Naomi wants some.
For man and nature. Naomi? Hey, Naomi, did you want some of those grapes? Oh, did you want some grapes?
This is proof that if I die later, it's because...
area, so they use it for lumber. And while they're using that sawmill, they just by chance found gold. So, in addition to gold, there's several other things in these crops. One of them is going to be pyrite. It's also called fool's gold. So
Jules Francis Beckart was a gunsmith who came here in 1849 to sell guns and mine gold. He soon became a close friend of James Marshall. The hard labor of gold mining was not to his liking, so Frank Beckart continued his successful gunsmith business in a wood frame and canvas building near this site. This brick building was constructed in 1852 after the previous building burned. It is thought to be Coloma's oldest original structure. Coloma bridges. Coloma's first two bridges were located about a quarter-mile upstream from here. During the summer of 1849, Jim Stevens built a footbridge with a 25-cent toll. In 1850, John Little and Edward Ron built a wagon bridge with a toll house that brought in $20,000 in 3 months. Among the bridges built on this site was California's first covered bridge, 1852 to 1863. A wire suspension bridge carrying pedestrians only served Coloma from 1881 until 1916 when the present bridge was built.
Over here. Come on, gotta wait for the car. Over here. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm. I see a raft up there. A couple of them, actually. Oh, wow. Yeah, I see that. They're just like, I'm going backwards, it's okay. Shaped structure was built here in 1849. Ownership changed hands several times until 1852, when it became known as Winter Mantles Miners Hotel. A sign on the balcony advertised in 3 languages. Huh. Each month, a full hotel could bring in between $120 to $1,400 a month. Interesting.
This was a place for them to get out of the snow and the rain, and they only slept in here. They didn't do anything else. They didn't cook in here. They cooked outside over an open fire, and they didn't play games, nothing. They may not have even eaten in here. They just slept in here. But they were very busy working on the mill. And these 6 men were there when James Marshall found gold in the tail race. And because they wrote in their diaries, see this? You guys can, I don't know if you can read cursive, but the adults can.
I can.
Anyhow, Henry Bigler and Azariah Smith, 2 of those men, they wrote in their diaries that gold was discovered on January 24th, 1848. And Mr. Bigler couldn't spell very well, and neither can I. He spelled gold. You guys know how to spell gold?
G-O-L-D.
Yeah, he spelled.
Yeah, this is reminds you a lot like Silver Dollar City. Very cool. Very cool.
Keep off. It doesn't say keep out. That doesn't. So we can go in. We just can't get on top of it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Wow.
Very neat. So if you don't have a bunch of buffalo skin and deer skin, those kinds of things to make a teepee, you can
You see your log.
make it out of parts of logs, strips of bark.
Look at the basket one.
Very neat. Oh wow,
Isn't that neat?
it is. So, what do you suppose they would be doing with a basket that big?
Well, I'm wondering if maybe they just used it as like it was stationary. Like they didn't use it for aluminum and slip it up. Like
I
maybe they
see.
used it for a place to
Just put
maybe store stuff.
stuff in. Yeah, that's. So the gentleman from over there at the log cabin told us about the granite over here, and that the Indians use this up here for their grinding stone to grind mill. And they say there's a plaque up there, so we're going to go up there and check that out.
There you go.
And these are the grinding holes.
Don't look over here.
You can see the holes over here.
She's drinking.
You can see the holes over here where they would grind their mill.
That's really neat.
It really is. Very cool. Oh, thank you. This is the inside of the Chinese store, or one of them. I don't know how well you can see in here, but it's a lot of.
These are the actual buildings. There were 2.
Yeah. 2 of them. The other one, this is the first one we came to. Modern Argonaut. Okay. Do it in a minute. There's a safe. Hey. It's pretty cool. You have some track here. Hey, all right.
It's pretty neat, huh?
Yeah, it is. Makes you look. It feels like you're inside of a mine shaft. It's really cool. During October, they have some kind of a festival here in Coloma, California. There's the Gold Rush or Gold Discovery Museum over there. Park headquarters office right there. This property is much larger than what we initially thought, and it is definitely something that would be awesome to come back and visit during the festival in October. So, oh yeah, easily you could spend all day. It's amazing. A lot of amazing history here, and beautiful.
During its heyday in the 1850s, Coloma's Main Street bustled with over 70 buildings on both sides of the street for a quarter of a mile. 20 years later, the population declined dramatically. By then, the only ground left in the Coloma Valley that had never been mined was underneath the few gold rush buildings that had survived fire, neglect, and flood. The buildings were torn down, and the ground leased to Chinese miners to be worked for any last traces of gold.
Interesting.
Trouble starts when the whistle blows. It's the sad short life way down in a hole. 12 tons of gold on a big iron sled. I work all day for a cold hard bed. Now heaven knows where heaven lies. There ain't no gold in a Tennessee mine.
Smoker Wedding Mark.